And for this edition, we really come outside because we're actually on the seafront of Aberavon Beach, where today the Water Safety Day for the Port Talbot RNLI takes place. There's going to be lots of things happening. There's going to be static displays, practical demonstrations by various lifeboats and lifeguards, and we're also hoping that we might in fact have a visit from the Mumbles lifeboat and possibly a helicopter. Don't worry, there's no chance I'm not going up in a helicopter, as Jason did bungee jumping a few weeks ago. I'm keeping my feet well and firmly on the ground, but might go out to sea. Before I go any further, I'd like to introduce a new presenter to Cable Weekly and to Outside Report. This is Viva.
Hello, Tony. How are you?
Now, hopefully over the next few weeks you're going to be seeing a lot more of this pretty little face. Is that right?
Listen to him.
Are you looking forward to joining us?
Well, I'm a little bit nervous about the whole escapade, and the sea thing is a little bit wearing, but yes, I'll have a go.
Do you suffer from seasickness?
No.
Good, because I've elected the all going out in the boat this afternoon.
That's very nice of you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you're going to be having a chat with a few people later on?
Yes, I hope to see what everybody's up to, see what the opinion and views of the children are, what they're getting out of it. Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Great, well, we'll total down below. We'll see if we can find the organiser. His name is Peter Thomas, and we're going to see if we can track him down and find out more of what's going to be happening today. Have the vice chairman and a member of the crew of the Port Talbot lifeboat, Peter Thomas. I got the title right, did I, Peter?
You did that, Tony. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Can you first of all tell us exactly the main purpose of the day? Is it to raise money for the RNLI?
No, it's nothing to do with raising money today. It's purely a public relations exercise. We find that not enough people in Port Talbot and the surrounding areas know that the services on Aberavon Beach actually exist. Yeah. One of the crew boys on the lifeboat, he was down in Margam the other day doing a job in this woman's house, and she said to him, "Well, I see you got a lifeboat sticker in your van. What lifeboat do you belong to?" "Oh," he said, "the Port Talbot lifeboat." "Well," she said, "I've lived here 50 years and I didn't know we had a lifeboat here." So basically we're trying to get over to the public what facilities are here.
So tell us a little bit what's going to happen then today.
Well, firstly, we're hoping to get a helicopter over from RAF Brodie, plus the Mumbles lifeboat. Then we will go into the juniors of the lifeguard club, who will be given a few displays on the way they train. We will have a rescue done of them. Then we will, depending on how it goes, we will have a rescue with the lifeboat again. Then we will have a Coast Guard demonstration. And to finish it all off, we'll have the children on the beach here. We've roped an area off for a treasure hunt.
Oh, that should be interesting. Any prizes for that?
Yes, there are prizes, but you can't win any.
No, that's not fair, is it? Don't tell me there's an age limit.
There is.
Yes, and I probably don't come anywhere.
And I am over it as well.
Aren't we all? How much organisation does it take to organise an event like this?
An event like this takes quite a bit of organisation to bring the three organisations together. The Lifeguard Club, the RNLI and the Coast Guard, because although there are some members of the Lifeguard Club who are also members of the RNLI crew, and there are members of the RNLI crew who are members of the Coast Guards, yeah. But it's trying to get everything together at one time.
How many crew members are there to the boat?
At the moment there are 13.
Because I remember when I used to live in Saundersfoot, very often when the flare used to go off, people used to come from all different directions. Is it the first 6 to the boat goes out?
Well, or? It's a 3-man crew, and it's the first 3 here. Yeah. Some places you have coxswains, but here we're all coxswains. We used to use the maroons, as you say, the flares. We have gone over to a pager system now, but we still keep the maroons as a backup in case we have a problem with the pager system. We're having the mayor here this afternoon, and hopefully we'll have him setting off the maroons.
What's the most serious rescue you've been involved with yourself?
The most serious? We don't get a lot of serious rescues around here. Mainly it's to do with boats breaking down, going out, possibly towing them in. But we are limited to a 3-mile distance out to sea.
And I suppose it's unbelievable to think there's still members of the public who do go out in these boats without the adequate safety equipment.
Oh yes, definitely. No life jackets. We had one the other day The steering had gone on the boat, no life jackets, no paddles, no flares. I think they had a radio on board and that was about it, which is good, but the minimum requirement they should have are life jackets, paddles, flares, and a radio.
Beautiful. Well, I hope it's a successful day for you, and the PR works, and I think you're going to arrange a little trip out on the boat for us a little later on.
Well, that's already been taken care of.
Right, well, I'm glad to say I didn't have a drink last night, so I'm not very good at flying, so the last time I went on a boat, in fact, was over to the Isle of Wight, and that was a bit of a choppy, but the sea looks quite nice out there today. Can we get a shot of the sea out there? Would this be normal, happy weather for you?
This is a bit boring for us, but we like it a bit bigger than this.
You're not going to try and arrange some extra waves, are you?
Well, you never know what might happen out there. Stranger things have happened at sea.
Right, thanks very much indeed, Peter. I believe the Lord Mayor is going to be arriving very shortly,
yes,
so we'll catch him doing the opening, and possibly catch up with you a little later on this afternoon and find out exactly where it's gone.
Okay.
That's Peter Thomas, one of the main organisers.
With some members of the Auxiliary Coast Guards, and I wonder now, this is Ken. And here we have Steve. If you could tell us a bit about what you do.
Well, our main role is mainly search and rescue. Swansea Coast Guard will inform us there is a casualty somewhere on our guard. We've got a 15-mile guard, which includes 4 miles of breakwaters. Our main part then is either to find that person, or if we know where the person is, to recover him.
I see. As far as I'm aware, this is a totally voluntary thing that you're doing here with the Coast Guards.
Yes, we are all voluntary. We give up our own time, similar to the RNLI. And we're on 24-hour call, so whenever we could be working, leisure work, pager goes off, telephone call, and we straight down the station to see what's going on.
I see. And have you been involved in many rescues within this area?
Well, I've only been with Auxiliary for the past 18 months, but I have had 11 o'clock call for somebody may have walked into the beach, onto the sea, boat run aground in the Neath River, and we're too happy to go and help out.
Well, I can see there's a lot of interesting goodies down on here. Perhaps, Ken, you can tell us what exactly these are?
Well, like I say, we have a few things here. Main things, life jackets. A lot of people are not taking life jackets on boats with them. Mm-hmm. When they're going out, even small pleasure crafts out in the bay, you know, they really should have life jackets with them. Here we have a few parachute flares. These are mainly for our purpose, where we think we know where the person is within so many yards, and we fire one of these flares up in the sky, and it lights the sky up. You know, it's like daylight then for about 20 seconds or so. Binoculars, you know, for long distance. Orange smoke. We use that for showing helicopters where to land, wind direction, things like that. You know, and that's a few safety belts. You know, it's all mainly our own safety equipment. So
thank you. Hi, Steve, you have a lot of leaflets here. Are these for the general public?
They are, yes, on issue to the general public, and they give relative information to the public that we do exist, and useful information to the public. The one I'd like to show you is the small boat safety scheme. In the back of this, there is for the public to fill in, and they send that then to the office, which is Swansea, which all goes down then on computer. So if then this person is in danger at all the information is on computer with Swansea. That can be given to us, which is valuable time saved.
Lovely, thank you very much. So it seems that we have everything that we need here, and lots of information for the public, who it appears can never get too much information. So if you see this, come along and take one of these and talk to the guys. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Carry on having a look around now. Well, things that you do to go out on a boat. What are these things?
Well, we've done it numerous times, and we got it off in the last. Normally, all the time
it on the buckle. Now I know why Martin Rees didn't want to come on this one today. Oh, you're in?
Woo!
I didn't think you'd get one big enough, me. So say, can I have my little finger back? What do you got to invent the suit? Well, next you know. Yes, good. To give us up. But if you do have to go today, and the end suit. Bloody hell! Can't breathe. Yeah. Come here, you. We'll try not to get you too wet.
Well,
Do we know what we let ourselves in for?
do we ever? This gentleman has told me that from the time that they get a shout, it's 5 minutes, they're kitted up and out and away on the rescue. It's taken me 10 minutes to get into it.
What are you doing now? Open the neck up. Please, squat down.
The air out.
All the way down. Squeeze all the suit.
Good, huh?
You've got tight up your body.
Yeah?
If you don't overboard now, you dry the chair. If you don't vent, then you get wet. If you go overboard.
Well, Tony, are you ready for this?
Let's go, kid.
Let's do it.
Out in the lifeboat station, eh? Are you feeling warm?
I'm absolutely like a sardine.
It is warm, isn't it?
Ooh, Jimmy.
Bit of rubber. Yeah. Well, this is it. We're going out on the boat.
Well, that's it. We've burned our bridges now. Our boat is just coming in for us. And we've been escorted all the way down here by these two little girls.
And, hello.
This is...
Hello.
Say Sarah.
Sarah.
And?
Philomena.
Seven, Philomena.
And they're down here to enjoy the day with hundreds of other little ones.
Right, well, the boat's waiting for us. We've got to get out in the boat now.
Let's go and do it.
Can I just say to my wife, the will is with the solicitors, all right?
And I'll say to my father, my debts are yours.
Here we go. Let's go to the boat then.
Okay.
Oh, come on then. See you girls. See you later when we come back.
To set off, we've got our two escorts here. I use the word very wisely. This is
Richard.
And with Richard we've got
Chris.
and they're going to walk us through an exercise that's going to take place shortly when the helicopter comes in. And just to let you know, I'm losing Tony Wynne-Jones from the back of the boat here. Come on, Tony.
Right, we're in the way.
Oh hell, Richard, what are you doing up there? I can't get him from there.
Lifeboat. That's the one that's on station mainly for the channel and local area. One behind them now, the ILB have come in and joined our boys. That who will be involved in the main rescue with the chopper.
Do you do many rescues as a teamwork like that, Chris?
Yeah, we do quite a lot together, like. Whenever there's an incident, like, we're always on the beach. We're on the beach more than them, probably. We probably deal with 99% of them, but saying that, at the end of the day, they are the people who get paid or called out by pagers. We are just lucky volunteers, like, to be down here at the time.
I see, so we'll go a bit closer now so that everybody can have a look at the lifeboat and the other life team and see what happens from here on in. I must say I'm enjoying this a great deal. Yeah, RNLB Ethellan, and this is crewed by a paid crew of lifeboatmen. As you can see, it's got a very throaty engine if you can hear the sound of it. And Chris will tell us a few more about the technical bits and pieces about this boat. Chris?
Well, the type of vessel you look at now, the members, they probably go out in all weathers. You wouldn't believe the weather they actually go to sea in, like. Which personally, I pray on for it because I'm a fisherman anyway. I fish on the local sea by here. And the people, it's nice to know you're safe. 100% behind them all the way.
Sure, these guys are now doing it as a full-time job, aren't they? How many are there normally on a ship like this? What's the crew?
Well, if you look, they got 1, 2, 3, probably about 8 at a time on the actual big vessel. But the little ones then, they normally average between 2 and 3. 9 out of 10, you'll have 3 crew on each of them.
Yeah.
Right, we've pulled up alongside the lifeboat that you saw earlier. I'm now going to have a chat to one of the Mumbles crew. Hi, what's your name?
Hello, Carl Thomas. How are you?
And it's a little bit up and down here at the moment. Can you just tell us a few words about your role here and what exactly you're doing this afternoon?
Well, all we're here this afternoon is to do a basic display for the public. We've got a helicopter coming over, 2 inflatables, and hopefully we're going to put on a good show so the people ashore can see what we do in real life scenarios.
Do you think that the people at the moment are still not aware enough of the safety requirements that you really should have before setting out to sea?
Well, the problem we've got is because there's no legislation actually laying down what people should do as regards boats and at sea. People do what they want, and a lot of people are very foolhardy and don't heed basic warnings that the Coast Guards, the RNLI and other persons of responsibility do give.
I see, so really a lot of the rescues that you do have then are basically down to people not being fully clued up as to what they need before they set out. Have you had any really interesting rescues so far this season?
We've been very busy this year again, as we are most years in Mumbles, because of a new marina and the moorings in Mumbles and just general shipping. But thankfully we've had no fatalities yet this year.
Right, thank you very much. Thanks for taking the time to see us. I do believe now the helicopter is just due in, so I'll leave you for 2 minutes until we get onto the helicopter. Just sort of talk us through what is going to happen here.
What's going to happen now? The lifeboat have sent an orange handle smoke signal out, which is a rescue coordination between the 2 services. If I'm right, the chopper's going to swing and pick a casualty up off the lifeboat itself, as it would normally do on a rescue if it's been called out to sea. It could be anything, it could be a broken arm, broken leg. But 9 out of 10, it's a serious offence to get the helicopter up. You know you've got problems when he's in the air, which, as you can see now, we'll circle right the way around here, just to go to the one boat.
So we can see the Sea King helicopter just coming in now.
It's going through communication, two-way radio system, which we carry ICOMs, we do, that's just ourselves and our headquarters. They carry VHF radios, which are on they can range from any channels, from the rescue service normally use 0, channel 0, and there'll be only the actual air sea rescue, the lifeboats and the Coast Guards will affect 0. Nobody else is entitled to it.
I see. We can see now they've got the winchman out and he'll be going over, I take it now, to this boat to see to the casualty in that boat.
That's right. So they've seen the actual boat in distress now. The actual time they were hovering above the Mumbles, as you see, the 2 crew will go into the actual area, which is permitted, because they're heavily financed and they are heavily covered with insurance for the actual job. If you like, I'll try and get in a bit further through.
That's lovely, thank you very much.
I just covered in the exercise they've just done with the chopper. The chopper will come back around to the vessel where they've just dropped the man off to check the casualty, which is normal procedure for the RNLI. They'll come around, drop a man in, assess the situation, similar to what we would do on the beach. They'll come back around now, if you look behind me, you'll see them coming around behind us. They're going to actually come back into that vessel, pick the man up and the casualty in one hit. That way it saves them a lot of time.
So what they're going to do now is do an airlift proper with the casualty, is it?
Probably do the airlift, casualty airlift now, in one hit with the Port Talbot lifeboat.
Sorry, I'm getting you caught up here.
I think the Mumbles is just a standby. They've come over for the day. You see two boys rowing by the other side of us. They're part of our exercise as well. We got beach flags. We got a junior ski race for the kids. It's just a day out to show everybody actually how well and how good together all the rescue services can work, especially on the seaside of it.
A lot of people like myself were unaware of how much it takes, how many people are actually involved, both on a voluntary basis. I've been very, very shocked at the amount of volunteers that work as lifeguards and, is it coast guards? Have I got the right term?
Yeah, you've got auxiliary coast guards. They are the voluntary coast guards, the auxiliary. We got the main coast guard station then over Swansea, the Swansea Coast Guard station, which is manned 24 hours a day. So if ever you need the RNLI or the air sea rescue, they'll be there within minutes. As soon as you call Swansea and let them know that you have actually got an incident for real, they will soon notify all the rescue services in the local vicinity, which could be the Mumbles, the Port Talbot, the chopper, as I say. It could be 3 or 4 different crafts involved in that actual incident.
Where does this particular helicopter come from? Where is the start from the copter?
I think this one's actually from either Brody or Chivener. It's one or the other. I'm not sure which one it's from, but it's either Brody or Chivener, like, so it's got a fair way.
So the response time would be sort of fairly quick then, if any incident happened requiring the helicopter.
Well, as you heard, we were talking to the Mumbles. He told us it'd be here in a minute, and as you looked, it was coming through, like, it was there, wasn't it? Let's be honest. We were told 5 minutes, and then 1 minute it was there. Like.
I must admit, it's very, very exciting to see the rescue taking place, and it's tremendous to know that all the resources are manned so very quickly in the event of a major incident needing a lift or something of that nature.
But to come, Mumbles, the 2 Mumbles boats here, I'd say all in a matter of 10 minutes at the most, and the chopper took the longest because it had to come the furthest. If you look at the Mumbles lifeboat now, she's probably powering it near enough flat out, which is on average, she's slow actually, sorry. She'll probably do about 21 knots flat out from there to Mumbles. That's quite good, that is. To get here from Mumbles is quite good. Because if you look at Mumbles, you can see the lighthouse now. It's a nice clear day if you look, you can see the whites here.
Oh yeah.
That's right, as you can see the chopper now, it's actually coming down in the actual area of the injured casualty, which is on the Port Talbot ILB, the lifeboat, inshore rescue boat. And you'll see the casualty and the winchman being launched up now off the actual vessel. The vessel will have to stay under the helicopter for it to work out right. You've got to drop his hook. The lifeboat got to come under the chopper. If you look, he's just hovering above him.
Yeah.
Dropping the hook as I speak. That boat, the boat then goes to that hook. You don't take it until you've been told by the actual helicopter crew to take hold of it.
Is that then obviously for safety reasons, Chris?
Yeah, that's for safety reasons. Because you get a good electric shock off the actual cable as it's coming down because you're all wet. And it's so much static on the helicopter itself, plus the boat, once they meet, it's colossal.
I see, yes.
It is very high dangerous. As you can see now,
and the helicopter crew has rescued the casualty from the ship below. It's a shame, Chris, that we didn't quite catch that on camera.
Sorry about that, I was hoping to. We could have caught it had I have done it first as last.
Well, you can't be everywhere at the same time, no. It's very exciting to see that. So is that the end now of the exercise?
I'm not sure now if they're going to re-drop the casualty back onto the boat.
So we're just going to come over now where you can see there are 2 young lads in an inflatable boat, and they seem to be having a wee spot of trouble there. We'll just go over and see exactly what's happening here. I take it, Chris, that these are the sort of things that you have to deal with on a fairly regular basis.
Yeah, this is the ideal situation now where you've got to look out on the beach, you think 2 guys paddling, you think, clown, I hope he's watching the wind and the tide, like. It's the ideal way But what can we say? We got to come out and do it. After all.
I see, so we see the two young...
Come on, boys.
I just sat there talking and tried to talk with it. Yeah. It's quite a little bit. No shot in the helicopter.
Oh, it's a tremendous experience to actually see that.
Let's get back on the drive. How much are these children involved with the lifeguards here at Aberavon?
These are the junior lifeguards, where they're the nipper section of all, where they come from this age group now. We've taken them through the various gold honours awards, and the last one of all, which we went through, which we went up to the Mayor's Parlour about a month ago, was the Aquapack Gold. Now this standard is teaching them personal survival and safety at all times. Next year, this group now will be, like a couple on the end there are the seniors, who will go up now to the beach patrol groups, which are these few over here, which will be doing the reel and line and stuff. And we take their interest into the club at this age, and it carries them through. And as they get older, they spend a lot of time in the building, which is behind us here, and they have a real good time. All summer they go beach patrols. I think our club is one of some of the highest awards around the new Professional Lifeguard Award, which only just came into being. I think we had about 18 of the group went through.
So how many members have you got in the club altogether?
We must be close on between 70 to 100.
And is it a hope that eventually that some of these could possibly end up as crewmen of the lifeboat?
I think it's a natural progression. We've got our own inshore lifeboat, which is all donated. I think Botswana donated it to us, and various clubs, surf skis and that have all been presented to us. It's a progression. Pat Thomas, who started off here as a junior lifeguard, went through the competitions, is also a crew member of the...
Did you start off this way?
No, I came into it rather late. It took an interest when my children said they go into it and learn survival and first aid and resuscitation, and it just took a natural interest.
What would you say to somebody like myself? Now, I can't swim, although I love the water, I go in the water, but I know people say, well, go to your local swimming baths, etc., but I'm afraid of being embarrassed by learning to swim.
Well, first of all, we always say, learn to walk, learn to swim. That's what we tell the children. And the same goes to the seniors. Our group, the Aqua Gold now has come to the end. And because we have such a wide variety in age groups, from when you're 14, you can go for what we call the Aqua Gold. Done the Aqua Gold, you go on to the Pool Bronze, which with this particular award, you can, if you were of the right age, become a lifeguard on the pool side. So with that group, Kelvin now, who's just come in here late, and his wife, they've joined into the senior side, like yourself, who are not too confident in the water, don't know the skills, but are willing to learn. So I take that on a Monday night, 8:30 to 9:30, and we nurse them through the various life-saving swimming strokes and techniques, and how to spot the dangers, and what to look for in the water, like never enter the water when someone's drowned, but take a stick or something so you're not making contact.
That sounds, perhaps we could bring the cameras along there one Monday night.
We're normally on a Monday night, 8:30 in the pool, and we teach anything from entries into deep water, to straddle entries, to swimming techniques where you keep a focus on people, and diving and retrieving objects from the ground.
Well, Jim, thanks very much indeed for sparing us your time today, because I know you're very, very busy and you're doing a fantastic job, and we all know it's
Coming along now to the treasure hunt. I think, Hayden, you've had quite a substantial hand in this, haven't you?
Yeah.
Kids, well, what exactly are the kids looking for?
Well, there's 20 tin cans buried in the sand, all numbered 1 to 20, and there's a corresponding prize then in the boathouse.
And has anybody found anything yet?
Nobody's found anything yet.
Are you pleased with the turnout of the children?
Oh, little ones, yeah, great, yeah.
It's nice to see so much being done for them. We'll nip across and see if we can find anyone in imminent danger of finding a prize. Do I get one if I find it?
Yes.
Ooh, wonderful.
Go on, go deeper than that, come on. Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to have a little look and see how everybody's doing. Quick, dig quicker!
Well,
quick!
I think I landed on one.
Do you think I found one here?
I think I landed on one because I didn't really.
Did you? Oh dear, Well, see if you can find a prize now, and that'll make you feel better, won't it? Anybody else found anything? No, come on. Dig. You haven't found it? You're Richard. How old are you, Richard?
3.
You're 3, and you haven't found anything yet?
No.
What about you? What's your name?
Thomas.
Well, Thomas, and nothing from you either?
No.
Are you from around here? Yeah?
No.
Where are you from? Woof.
Didn't tell us.
And have you enjoyed it? What about you girls? Have you found anything? No, come on, we'll have to dig a bit harder. I think they might be. I think they might be. You found anything? No. Let's go and see some more. What's your name? You're Stacey and Donna and
Claire.
Have you all had a nice time so far? What did you think of that helicopter? Pretty amazing, eh? Hello.
Did you go in the boat?
Yes, I went in the boat. Oh, yeah. Let's go and see if we can see anybody else digging away and finding a prize. Come on, you! Don't let me down. Treasure hunt here, and go back up onto the main pavilion and see what's happening there now. Let's go and have a look.
We're going to just... His Worship the Mayor is just... may I have a word with you, sir, from cable television?
Yes, sure.
You're looking a little bit wet there.
No, I'm quite dry underneath, they tell me, but it was an experience, marvellous. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
What did you actually get involved with out there?
Well, I had to throw me overboard sort of thing and do a rescue then out at sea.
They actually threw you overboard?
Oh, they threw me out of the boat, yes, and then they would circle around and rescued me.
It's not something you bargained for when you became mayor, is it?
No, it isn't. But I realise now that how unfit I am after going out there.
What do you think of this display that's going on today? How important do you think it is for the people of Port
Talbot? I think it's extremely important, especially for all the youngsters, and you see quite a few of them on the beach. It's important, and everybody understands when they come to the sea that what they need to do and what they need to know. It's very important. I hope that this continues and it'll become more successful. It's amazing. More people come.
Do you find it amazing that not many people knew, in fact, Port Talbot had a lifeboat?
Well, I would think most people in Port Talbot, well, they should know.
Surprising people we spoke to actually today,
they didn't know that well. This lifeboat station has been here for many years, you know, so I'm surprised that they don't know. But for visiting people here, it's important that they know as well. It's great, I think.
Well, we're back on the seafront here now with our auxiliary coast guards, Ken and Steve, and they're going to explain to us exactly what's going on down there. Ken, what's happening?
Well, at the moment we've got a casualty who's on the north breakwater at the moment, and what we've got to do, we've got to get him from that position to a safer position up here because of the rising tide. Now, usually at this point the water has surrounded all this area, and we can't just carry him off in the stretcher like we could here. So what we're going to do now, the auxiliaries on scene, they put him in a stretcher, they're doing artificial respiration and so on. They'll attach him to the mainstay rope, and we'll haul him up here to a safer position.
Probably.
Good gracious me. So our casualty there, if I can assure all our viewers that the casualty is not a real human being, it is a dummy, is that correct?
For the exercise purposes, it's a dummy at the moment, yes.
Oh dear, that's a shame. I thought somebody'd finally caught Tony Wynne-Jones, but no, not today. What do you think, Ken, about this system? Does it work very well?
Yes, it's a very good system as long as you know you have the proper facilities like we have. Saying this, the main part of the rescue, we don't put ourselves at danger. We're not supposed to, but you know. So obviously we got the proper safety equipment, which I must put on.
Yeah.
You know, I got a harness now.
A harness and a winch.
It's a basic harness at the moment. I'm going to be tied off, so if something did happen, I wouldn't fall.
I see. That's the purpose of these big.
That's right. Yes, carabiner.
Carabiner hooks here.
Right. So. We're underway.
Just going to get out of the way here. As you can see now, the lads are pulling our casualty up, and this is all done by manpower. We have 3 men at the back here.
Right.
You can see our casualty slowly and very smoothly actually being brought into a safe place. If you can see the guys working behind me. Hard work this. I shall stay well clear before I get caught up in all these ropes. Ready to come up onto the promenade, and we have our Steve there acting as anchorman, and yet we're just going to bring our casualty over the rails.
Ready? Stay when, great. Right.
Okay, I'll just go and see what's going on here. Ken, what's happening now?
Right, we've got him from the immediate danger, and we're going to hold him here now till one of us can go and get him from that position up to the top.
Does that mean that somebody's actually going to go over the railings now to fetch him?
Yes, me.
That's you. Just stand back and watch you do that. So here we go, we can see Ken is just being lowered over to go and do the last essential part of bringing our casualty back up to a safe surface. So there we are, we have our casualty safely on firm ground. We also have our auxiliary coast guard in one piece, and now the immediate first aid can take place and our casualty can be whisked off safely to hospital. Ken, how did you think that went?
That went pretty well. It was a bit awkward on times. We had a few problems, but we got him back.
Excellent, and how is he looking?
Well, he's looking a pale blue.
Are you quite sure that's not Tony Wynne-Jones down there?
It looks like, doesn't it?
Oh, we'll just go and have a closer look and have a quick chat. Steve, how do you think that went?
Oh, quite well.
Are you sure it's not Tony Wynne-Jones? It bears a marked resemblance, doesn't it?
Very pale.
It is, yeah, very pale, don't you think?
If you'd had a nose, then possibly.
Thank you ever so much for taking the time to show us how this is done. It's much appreciated.
No problem.
Thank you very much. Again with all our auxiliary coast guards, but this time I have Robert with us, who you're the senior auxiliary coast guard.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm the auxiliary in charge at Port Talbot. These are my auxiliaries.
And a wonderful crew they are. How many of them are actually in Port Talbot?
There's 8 of us at Port Talbot. There used to be 15, but due to cutbacks over the years, I'm afraid, we've now been reduced to 10. Then it was reduced further to 8. So at the present, we are now 8.
And a very close-knit team by the look of you.
Yes.
So you've got a rather nice vehicle here. This
oh yes, they've just purchased a new vehicle for us. So it's the first vehicle we've had at Port Talbot, you know. But we're very pleased with it.
Is this from local donations, or how did the vehicle come about?
This is a lease hire, but it's paid for by the Coast Guard Association.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see. So you do get some manner of funding?
No, not really.
Nothing
The
at all?
funding comes from the government.
I see.
So, but it's a government-run department.
So what can you tell us then, Robert, about some of the incidents that you've seen taking place?
Oh, crikey. too many to mention. We deal with all sorts, so we work in close proximity from the River Neath to the Kempig River. that's called our guard.
Yes.
We've got 8 auxiliaries, as I say. We've got quite a lot of equipment where we can actually do sea rescues without calling helicopters and lifeboats. But it seems to be going over now to more so helicopters and lifeboats doing the rescuing, and we are as what's called coordinators.
Again, I'll ask you, Robert, the same. What are the major incidents that you have to deal with?
Well, nowadays, years ago it was shipwreck, etc. But nowadays it's obviously people using the water, all sorts of people, windsurfers, bathers, fishing boats, speedboats, you name it. Anybody using the water, they're always in trouble, and we are called normally first to suss things out, really.
Yeah.
You know, and we decide if we require helicopter and lifeboat and other assistance, of course.
So really, you're going in before anybody else at all?
More often than not, we are called first.
Oh,
And we assess the situation, whether we require backup.
Have you had many incidents this summer so far?
We've been a busy station this summer.
And what are the main incidents, or what are the most frequent?
Sadly, hoaxes. We do get our fair share of hoaxes. They seem to be nighttime calls, you know. But there we are, we've got to turn out, no matter what. So, but the main incidents are fishing boats broken down, missing children on the seafront who've been missing for a number of hours. That comes under us, you know, to help the police, because the police are strained as well. Really a broad spectrum, all sorts of things.
So I suppose I could say really that when most of us are looking forward to a hot sunny day on the beach with all our family, that it could be a bit of a nightmare for the auxiliary coast guards.
Oh yes, it can be. We can be called on a hot summer's day several times per day.
I see. What's the maximum you've had here in any one day?
We've had 4. We've had 4 call-outs in one day, ranging from early morning to late at night.
And all dealt with successfully?
Oh yes, no problems that particular day.
I'm just going to come across to Graham here. Graham, perhaps you could tell us a bit about small boat and the safety of small craft.
Well, what we like to promote is the fact that they carry flares and life jackets and adequate safety equipment so that they can tell people that they're in trouble if they're in trouble. VHF radio is always the best, but carrying the flares should be a first priority as well, because I mean your radio can pack in. So you know you've always got some means of communicating that you're in trouble, and that is our main message we like to put across.
I see, so really what you're saying to everybody then is to be safety conscious before they do put out to sea. Well, I'd like to say a big thank you to all our auxiliary coast guards here. Thank you very much for all the work that you do and for taking the time to...
I'm going to grab this fella a minute because I've known this guy a few years. How are you, Andy? All right? Because way back in the late 1960s, early 70s, this guy used to supply all the Swansea City players and myself with lunch in the Union Cafe in Swansea. You're still there, I believe, Andy?
Yes, we're still there.
So what's your involvement then with the Port Talbot lifeboat?
Well, at the moment, I'm the tractor driver, as one of the oldest members of the station.
In other words, you're the only one who can drive. This is the tractor, is it?
Yes, that's the tractor.
Can you tell us a little bit about where did you actually get it from?
Well, I think we bought it from Scott's, the contractors in Port Talbot.
Yeah, and what's it actually used for?
Well, we've seen it on video that this basically for pulling the boat down, recovering the boat, taking the boat up second and third slipways to launch if it's too rough for the slipway. So really it's just a general purpose vehicle.
So and how long have you actually had this one? Because it looks quite old, doesn't it?
I think this one, when we had it was old, but we had it about 6 years now.
So do you actually go out on the lifeboat yourself?
No, I'm too old now, I'm 45.
We all admit our ages at times.
No, after 45 we've got to come off the boat.
Do you get involved with training the youngsters at all?
No, not at all, no.
Well, Andy, thanks for taking time out with us, and when we're in Swansea, we'll pop into the Union Cafe. I'm not a decent cup of tea for ages, which is not a bad idea, because I think it's where we're going to go now. Right, well, we've almost come to the end of the day. I've been joined with Peter, who we spoke to at the beginning of the programme, and also Harry Worth. Harry, coming in, how are you? All right, you are the chairman.
No, I'm the chairman of the Aberavon Lifeguard Club, and I'm a crew member with the Port Talbot Royal National Lifeboat Institution.
Have you been out recently?
Yes, we've been out this afternoon. We've done exercise with one of the helicopters and an exercise with the Mumbles lifeboat.
Are you pleased with the way things have gone today?
Yes, I'm very pleased. I think it'd be nice if we had a few more people watching, but I think it's been lovely for all the rescue organisations in Port Talbot to come together and, you know, work together and enjoy the day. I think that's been great.
So what's it all down to now? You're going to organise another event similar to this?
I think we'll do that, and you know, all credit to Peter who's done the work for this one, and it all came. We're always a little bit worried on the day because of commitments for the rescue services, but this afternoon it worked very well. As I say, we had the helicopter from Brodie, the big lifeboat from Mumbles, and this small inshore lifeboat, and our inshore lifeboat as well, and of course the local lifeguard club, which has been great for us.
I was going to say, Peter, as Harry mentioned, it must be a bit disappointing that it wasn't a bigger crowd.
Well, for the first year, we're quite pleased that it's gone off as it did. As Harry mentioned about the commitments of the other rescue services, plus the weather, which we can never rely on.
Yeah.
It's gone off, as far as I'm concerned, very good today.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more people who are going to be watching Cable Weekly now. Will hopefully appreciate what's really on their doorstep, that they do have these services, and I hope, I wouldn't say I hope they take advantage of using them, because obviously we don't want them to, but to be more careful, I think, is the word, isn't it?
Well, prevention is better than cure, and the more people that we can get to in Port Talbot and surrounding areas, well, only the better for us.
Well, can I say, Harry and Peter, thanks for inviting us along today. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I thought it was fabulous out on the boat. I know Vera's still drying off, and please let us know when the next one is, and hopefully we'll come along to that one.
Gladly. Thanks so much, Tony.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So we close this edition of Outside Report for Cable Weekly. It's certainly been a very eventful day for me, one that I shan't forget for a long, long time, because now we begin to appreciate what really goes on with these lifeboat stations. Vera Lewis, your very first Cable Weekly Outside Report, how have you enjoyed it?
It's been a wonderful day. It's been exciting to do a rescue the way we did, and basically to speak to so many people about what goes on your coastline.
Yeah.
Very surprised that there are so many volunteers organised in the rescues. That was a new one to me. I didn't realise that so many volunteered to do it.
Did you eventually find the can in the treasure hunt?
I didn't.
No.
I didn't, so I go home without a prize.
Well, that's two of us, but a good day out.
Thoroughly enjoyable.
Good, and we'll see you again on Cable Weekly very soon?
Well, you never know.
Hopefully. Well, from Vera Lewis, myself, and of course Suzanne Mellon Hopkins. Sorry, I'm going to get it right this time. It's Suzanne Hopkin Mellon, who was on the producing side today. Our cameraman Jason Chapman, Tony Jones, and Vera Lewis for Cable Weekly Outside Report at Aberavon Seafront.